I'm going to be talking about the beauty of imperfection. To start with, what is perfection? Well, I would say that it's a very misleading term. Why? Because it doesn't exist. All of us have flaws. Your teacher, friends, family, the stranger walking down the street, your favorite musician, everyone, and that includes yourself. You see, Mother Nature doesn't make ideal entities. She makes matchless beings. And as the legendary Hannah Montana once said, nobody's perfect. And she is without a doubt correct. Imperfections, well, they cause us a lot of struggle. Everyone has them, but they're the fundamental part of us. For me, they help me discover what I truly want in life and what I need to do to get happier and to be stronger. We all have our specialties, quirks, characteristics. We all have things we excel in, but there's a catch. A lot of us are miserable. And why is that? Why is the human race like that? Why do we forget that the flaws we hate are the ones that make us strong? So, imperfection is an error, flaw, or something that makes something else less than perfect, right? Or so states the Wikipedia page. And a lot of the population associate this negatively, like it's some kind of disease, which is absolutely incorrect. You see, in our day and age, a lot of societies crave for fast-paced, perfect, idealistic people who, in theory, don't exist. And a lot of people got a lot of opportunities, extraordinary opportunities, because they look, act, or think differently. For example, the model Chantel Brown-Young, also known as Whitney Harlow, motivational speaker Nick Vujicic, and Michael Phelps, who is an Olympic swimmer, with many more. These people have turned their imperfections into strengths. You could even call them superpowers. And one of them could be you. So, Chantel has vitiligo, which is a rare skin disease that makes her have patches of different colored skin. And last year, she walked the Victoria's Secret runway. Nick is a man born without limbs. I'm sure a lot of you heard of him. He starred in many films, he gives speeches in front of thousands of people and motivates others in the ways of life. And Michael has ADHD. He swims not only for himself, but for his country as well. These people are idolized for their overcomings, and one of them could be you. I myself am part of this change. Ever since I was a child, I believed that success meant that I had to be perfect. And I got good grades, studied everything, as you can see from the slide. And as time went on, the curriculum began to be more difficult, and my efforts were not enough anymore. I started losing sleep, skipping meals, got a little bit of depressed. It wasn't really nice seeing your 10s turn to 5s. It was nerve-wracking for a child, especially. And after quite some time, I realized that me, who was so energetic and so optimistic, I got angry, self-loathing, and worst of all, I grew hesitant. I changed so much, I began to fear learning because I thought that I would always fail. And that is absolute nonsense. You see, one of the biggest fears that we have and the biggest enemies that we encounter are ourselves. That little nagging voice inside your head is you. And the only one who can forgive you is, of course, you. It's all about you. You are the one who makes the difference in your life. It's all about perfecting yourselves, that the imperfections that you see and you don't like would turn into something that you can always excel in. My imperfection was perfectionism, and I turned it into determination. I no longer fear tests or exams, well, maybe just a little, but no one needs to know that. And I started to hanging out more with my family, and those 5s that I got from subjects that I don't care at all turned into dust. Why? Because I don't need it. It doesn't bring me happiness. And I got to enjoy my youth with all my friends. And that's the best part. See, all of us have hated ourselves at one time in our life. It's a very common phenomenon that you may be experiencing right now. And so our mindset that shifts us into this negative spiral that we always go through is so non-complex, even though you think about it. It's only you making sure that you get the best of life. And you're getting the best of life because you experience all of these amazing things. Of course, when you start to forgive yourself, it's going to be a long journey. It takes a lot of time. Even that man didn't become a superhero overnight. And when you start to forgive yourself, a whole new perspective will be revealed. As mentioned, the confusion and hate will be left behind, and you'll start to feel the love and fulfillment that you have for life. All of the motivational speeches are just guidelines for you to know that something that you need to do starts from within. And that within is the realization that everything that you do is for yourself, for the greater good of your mental health. And love is mostly made of falling in love with yourself. All of our imperfections color our society. I and all of the other people mentioned before wouldn't have these opportunities that we have now, talking to you or saying motivational speeches to thousands of crowds, winning Olympic medals, walking one of the most wanted runways in the world. We all got these opportunities just because we're standing here. The imperfections make our world colorful. If we didn't have them, our world would be gray and dark, and everyone would be the same. No fun in that. So embrace your imperfections, reform them, engross into yourself, be your biggest fan. As Hannah Montana, she was her own biggest fan. Miley Cyrus can agree. Currently, the world has 8 billion people, 8 billion personalities, characteristics, specialties, all of that jazz. But remember, just like a butterfly can cause a storm, one person can make a difference, just like one imperfection can change a life. And that's the beauty of it, the beauty of imperfection.